Okay, last chapter in 8.8, and what we're doing here is we're solving systems of nonlinear equations. So if you look at example 1, it's actually an equation of a circle. We'll get to that in the next chapter, but you can see we have x squared and y squared. And then the second equation is a linear equation. So I'm going to walk you through some examples that are, they have multiple problems on most of my examples. All right, the idea here is to figure out the best way to do this. Now, the nice thing about example 1 is y is solved for. So I'm just going to substitute x plus 2 into the first equation. So this is solving by substitution. So we get x squared plus, I'm going to put in x plus 2 for y. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is square that binomial. And remember that we have 4 multiplications. So we definitely get x squared, and we'll definitely get a 4. But we get x times 2 twice. All right, so let's go ahead and put this together. We get 2x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals 0. And I can factor a 2 out of all of that. Hopefully it'll make this quadratic easier to factor. Okay, wait a second. I have an error. My first equation actually had a 10 on it. Let's back up and fix that error. So before I factor, I need to subtract. I need a 0 on one side, so I need to subtract that 10. I'll get a negative 6. I might as well show that step. Okay, that gives me 2x squared plus 4x minus 6 equals 0. I got my 0. Now I can solve this by factoring. Let's start by factoring out the 2. All right. So I can factor this. I get x plus 3 times x minus 1. So I get 2 solutions. X equals negative 3 and x equals positive 1. I have to calculate the y's because the quiz for this section is going to ask you for both the x and y pairs on all the problems. So if x is a negative 3, I'm just going to use that second equation in the system of equations, y equals x plus 2, and put in a negative 3. And it looks like y equals negative 5. So I get an xy pair of negative 3, negative 5. And now I'm going to look at my second solution, x equals 1. Do the same thing. And it looks like I get a negative 1. So my second solution is going to be 1, negative 1. And there's a lot of algebra in these problems. I'll just warn you up front. Okay. Now, I like this system of equations because both equations are solved for y. So all I'm going to do is substitute on the left-hand side. I'm going to put the bottom equation, x squared minus 4x minus 3. And on the right-hand side, I can put x squared plus 5. So I substituted in the first equation for y. I substituted the expression that was solved for y in the second. All right, now I'm going to take my solving steps. And the nice thing about this problem, it turns into a really easy linear equation to solve. And it looks like we get x equals negative 2. All right, going back to my equation, y is, I'm just going to use the upper equation to solve for y. Looks like y equals negative 2 squared is positive 4. Positive 4 plus 5 is 9. So the solution to this problem is negative 2 and 9. You know, the nice thing about the quiz is they will give you an idea of how many solutions they're looking for. All right, that's it for this video. I'll see you on the next.